Hey, what up, what up, what up? Thanks for tuning in to GVTV. How you doing out there? It's all good? No, it's all good. It's all great. That's how we living. That's how we making it. And today, go ahead, I wanted to discuss wealth. Pretty much what's wealthy, the equality, inequality in wealth, things like that. Just a quick background. What I know, I got my bachelor's degree in accounting. You know, when I was going to school in accounting, I used to have my hair all out. That's when I was growing my hair. You know, I was a younger dude. So I had my hair was like down the head. And they used to joke like the other students in the classes, because I went to, so what do you want to say? They like, you know, predominantly pale-faced college, right? Or university. And they used to be like, man, you don't even seem like you belong in here. Like, you don't even seem like you would fit in here. You know, like, that's not even my type mode. I mean, it really wasn't. It's just I knew I had to learn the structures of economy and money. And in my community, a lot of people didn't know about. It's not even they didn't know. They just want to wear certain things. Like, they don't teach that. So I went, finished my degree, got my degree in accounting. I actually then went on to be an auditor for the Department of Defense, and that didn't work out well. Like, it did work out well. I traveled Hawaii, been to Cuba. I've been inside Guantanamo Bay, like actually inside the gate. I'm one of the few people that can say they went in and made it back out. It has one of the most beautiful views, and that's what the guards joke around and be like. I might have mentioned this on another video, maybe not, but the guards joke around and be like, yeah, because I was like, wow, look at the view, because I'm inside the prison, right? And they like, man, I'm like, look at that view. That view is on the Cuba water. And it's like, look at that view. It's gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? And they's like laughing like, yeah, because that's the last view they ever see, you know what I mean? Because you got to think. But anyway, I'm not even going to talk about that. But I'm just saying, that was in my part of my life. So I was doing all of that. But that wasn't for me. Like, I could feel like that joint, like, it wasn't for me. And the real essential reason why I got my accounting degree was so I could know how to take care of my business. And honestly, I didn't even need it. Like, I wasn't even going to classes like that. Instead of going to classes, I was the type of dude, because in that type of university, they just want your money. They don't, like, a lot of the times they don't care if you show up for attendance. Most of the time, most of the classes, they didn't care. So I wouldn't even go to class. I would just go go to the library, read the chapter, you know what I'm saying? Spend like an hour and read the whole chapter in an hour. While the class, it takes a week for them to do a chapter. I'll just go by myself, read it, learn the info, boom, show up, take the test, you know. So and that's pretty much, I ended up getting my degree in accounting. So I have that, and it ain't even. So now that's why I want to talk. They just give you, I guess, my and I've been an entrepreneur on the barbershop at 23. Shoot, when I was a 10-year-old kid, I had my first business where I used to. Like, I used to buy sports cards, right? And I would take the sports cards and like you know, when you buy packs of cards, so I would take the cards. This is at like 10 years old. I ain't never seen nobody do it. I was just a young hustler, always been a young hustler. I would take the cards, the extra ones I got. I forgot what they was called back then. There was a term for the extra cards. Like, you know, if you buy a pack of cards and you might get the same person over and over and over, and they not name brand, like they wasn't a Jordan, or they wasn't a who else was there? Wasn't a Barkley, or there wasn't nobody like that at that time. So I would take the cards and I would repackage my duplicates, and I'll put some good ones in there too, and then I would just sell them at half the price that I was paying for them. So like, I was buying them for $1 and I was reselling my duplicates at 50 cents, and then I would go and rebuy them. And that's what I was doing as a young kid, a young hustler. And then I would switch it, whatever the people wanted. I seen that was hot, I seen candy was hot. I was doing all of that, right? And so that was young. So then when I got older, then I got my accounting degree, and I owned my barbershop, and then I also owned another business, my marketing business, and that was what I was focused on doing that. So anyway, that brings me to wealth, because I thought, like I said, I went to college, had my business, I thought I had it all figured out. And now in the like last 2 years, like, I really been experienced what real information is. Like, they didn't even teach us all of this stuff when I was in school. They don't tell you. See, the difference between wealth and having money is a major thing. You ever heard a term like filthy rich? Like, you can have all the money in the world and be a dirty person. Like, wealth is not your financial status primarily, honestly. Like, because you got some people that have got millions and millions of dollars, but their health is down the toilet. So that's the first thing I like to say about health is it's healthy to be wealthy. Like, if you're on a real healthy tip, you're extending your life by at least, let's say, like people like, man, you're not even eating meat. This old head was telling me, he was like, I was telling him about what I eat and stuff. Like, I'm on a really plant-based diet. I'm eating a lot of lot of broccoli. I'm doing the raw thing. I'm eating I got the scallion. Shout out to Dr. Sebi with the Dr. Sebi. That's SEBI. Got a lot of good information out there and breaks down a lot of what electric foods, alkaline foods, and how that can cure all the diseases and stuff like that. So I've been on that for, like, people used to be like I was already healthy, but I wasn't healthy aware. So now that I know that, I'm even healthier. So it's like, man, yeah, at least old hair was like, yo, you're at least extending your life by 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not putting that red meat. Like, you heard things like red meat takes so long to break down in your body. You know what I'm saying? All that chicken with the hormones, steroids. I mean, I imagine turkey's pretty much the same. They say that's a lean meat, but that's pretty much the same. With all even the seafood, even the fish, even if I dibble and dabble in that, I'm really like, nah, I really because you got so much the mercury levels. What else you got? The GMO products, you saying high fructose corn syrup, all of that stuff over time. Like, I'm not saying you go out and like five, I'm not even gonna say them, but the burger place, you know what I'm saying? The burger place, when I ate there probably 3 times in my lifetime, and when I used to eat there, like, just thinking about it makes my fucking chest hurt. I used to eat there, and that's why I used to joke, but I really felt like that, but I used to joke about shit like that. I used to be like, yo, it feels like my heart. You know what I'm saying? It feels like I lost a day of my life every time I eat one of them burgers. You know what I'm saying? Because I could feel that pressure and tension. All of that shit is building up. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is you get used to carrying all that shit around. Like, I can't even imagine going to eat none of that shit and what it would do to my body right now. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. If you extending your life by not eating healthy foods, not drinking all that liquor, not fucking your system up, you're extending your life, so you have more time and opportunity to create a wealthy state, even if it's financially focused. Because this ain't like sports where you really by the time you 30 you done. Like, they just want young cattle, young stock in there. It ain't like that. Like, you can extend your life if you're taking care of yourself. You can extend what you're doing. So definitely healthy to be wealthy. So you want to be very healthy. Plus, think about it, like, yo, what is the point of you busting your ass all these hours, you slaving all these hours, and then you croak, you die, you have heart attack at like 38. I mean I know 30-year-olds, like 30-year-olds, shit, they might have been in their 20s when I first heard this, but I don't know. You got impotence, high blood pressure, what else is there? Impotence, high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes. Those is like 4 that I hear common between, and that's 20 to 40. That's 20 to 40. Like, I'm sure, like, that's crazy. And you can attribute the majority of that to your diet and what you're eating, and what they're putting in the foods. But see, people don't think, oh, it's just one Big Mac. But what happens is, in the Big Mac, I never thought about how they use the term Mac. Like, Mac, like they macking you, they pimping you. Dang, that's what that shit is like, ain't it? But anyway, them words, to summon them words. But thinking about what they're doing to your diet, how they're affecting you, what you're eating, like it might not, like, in one day, like, you might not feel like I felt when I ate the burger joint, and then I'll be like, oh, but I'm saying in one day, you can eat the shit for a year straight, and you might not croak right then, but it's wearing down on you. I wouldn't imagine that you can't feel it. I wouldn't imagine your body's not telling you anything. You're not having any symptoms, whether it's your shit is all backed up, literally, crazy gas, you sick. Like, I really don't get sick. I don't get sick. Colds just be passing by me. The time I had the flu, I was working in an office setting, and everybody around, they didn't have there was no windows really. Like, there was windows up at the top, but you couldn't open them, those type of windows, like the skylight types. and there was no there was no air vent in air vents or whatever you call them, ventilation systems, whatever, and it was like the germs kept passing on and on and on. That's the only time in my life I had the flu. Then I had food poisoning a long time ago, and I forgot about that shit. Like, that food poisoning was the worst. That was the most pain I experienced physically. Like, and I've been in like 10 car accidents. I've been in over 10 car accidents. You know, shoot, I done broke my fingers. I done, you know what I'm saying, I done cut myself. It's so many things. There's so many things that happened to me. And that was the worst pain I had. I was like, yo, I was kept just, that was probably like 2007 maybe, you know. And so I was like, man, I didn't, but see, I was still asleep, so I didn't even know, like, I didn't even change nothing. I was just like, yo, like, fucking get me out of here. Like, yo, I was fucking dehydrated, you know what I'm saying? I was fucked up off of that shit. So your food can really fuck you up. So it's healthy to be wealthy, you know what I mean? Healthy to be wealthy. So, and then now I'm not just talking about your food health, like your mental health, what you're putting in your body. Like, what does it matter if you got all this money in your bank account and you don't even have control over your mental? Like, somebody else is controlling your mental. You think you have control. What's drawing you to all of that stuff, consuming all your time? What happens is you slaving, attempting to make all these dollars, and then you're not experiencing life. Like, I know everybody gotta eat, you know, literally. So, but you want to keep that in balance and think about, like, do I need to take a job that's paying me like $80 an hour, but I don't have the time to take care of myself? Or can I survive with like a 20-hour or even a $15 an hour, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, like, depending on your financial situation or your current situation. No, people just just show me the money. Remember that, what was that movie, whatever, the movie with the you know, the shit, whatever, show me the money. That was the big term. Show me the money. Show me the money. And that's what people are only thinking about. Like, how much are you willing to be a slave? Like, $100 million? Would you be a slave for $100 million? Like, somebody telling you where to go, where to eat, what to wear, what to do, what to think, who to hang with, where to chill. $100 million? Like, it ain't no money you could give me to make me no slave like that. Like, I'm gonna live my life. Like, that's mine. Ain't no cost for that. Ain't no price on that. That's priceless. You know what I'm saying? See, there's a difference between priceless and worthless. Priceless is where you can't put a price on it, because it extends way beyond the monetary value that you could ever think about. Worthless is, you know, the opposite, you know what I mean? It ain't worth shit. So shit literally even has a worth if it's that good shit. But yeah, like, really think about what you're doing. Like, I seen this little comedy skit, you know what I mean? Like, I be hardcore on my learning, and then I like to take a little comedy. Like, I seen some shit pop up, so it's a comedy jump. I don't watch TV, so it's like, yo, what's this chick talking about, man? And it was this was sparked me to do this, and it was talking about wealth. It was a little comedy skit. I don't know, one of them comedians, HBO comedian, I don't know, but he was like, fuck. They had like the lottery winnings, and he basically, like, they joking people with no money. He breaking down like how, yo, you, like, if you're not born into getting that cash, like, you're really not going to get like them hundreds of millions of dollars that people think. He is like, shoot, I mean, even the lottery, because when I was in college, I did a report on the lottery, and you got like 1 in 76 million odds of winning that big lotto. So I don't even play. It's enough people that I know that play it, so I don't even play the shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what the fuck, I'm gonna even play? It's 1 in 76 million odd chances that you gonna win. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna do one on that later, because what we could use with that money. I might just make this an extended version, because I ain't did an extended in a minute. But what we could do with that money. But anyway, so the dude, the host, he has two different like them lottery ball drawing, you know, where the numbers come out. He got two different ones. He got the one that says, this is for the, you know what I'm saying, the rich people in America, and this is for the poor people in America. And when he goes to the rich people shit, it's like all lights and good music playing. He got this little pale face chick over there, little pale face model, and there's two balls in there. No, 2 or 3. It's 3. It's 3 balls in there. when they got the, and then so he draws one, and it comes out the number one, and he's like, everybody, all of y'all are winners, because you know it's only 3 balls, so you basically automatically won. If it's a pick 3, you automatically won. It's only 3 balls. It's 3 numbers that can it be, and then that's so he's like, everybody wins from the rich people crew. That's how they got it set up. They got it set up so they win in that game. And then he goes to the poor. I don't definitely never call yourself poor. Poor is a state of mind. Poor, broke. Those are states of mind, but for the sake of this, the poor people's side, and he got a security guard, you know what I'm saying, the melanin rich security guard sitting there watching over the drawings, and the machine is just packed with like tons and tons of balls, like there's no space in between the machine, and he was like, sorry, due to the capacity of the balls in here, we can't draw a number, but you didn't have a chance on winning anyway. Let's go back over to the rich people side. And then he goes back over, and then the music changes, then he does all of that. And then it's like, damn, yo, like they laughing right in our faces, because they got us thinking that, okay, we go and do all of their do everything we supposed to do. We go to school, we get a degree, we go get a job, and we bust our ass for 20, like, oh, well, we bust our ass for 20 years, and then we'll be good and we'll be straight. But that's not happening no more. The game is rigged. Don't y'all hear about the 1% that control the financial in this economy, that they keep making sure that think about they keep making sure that you can't get up. Like, think about how many people are broke. You know what I mean? How many people don't have any money? Like they could be having the rest of their life is good, but let's just talk about their financial status. Think about how many people like that. And it's not like they dumb or nothing, or they not willing to work or put some work out there, but they got it like that. Like, man, I hear stories. See, I talk to the streets. I hear stories like people. First, I'm gonna tell you about myself. Yo, when I was working with the Department of Defense, when I was like 20, I don't know, maybe I was 24. That's what I'm saying. I was on it. Like I had that gig. I was on it. Like I had my barbershop. Then I transferred that, and I was like, well, let me go do the conventional thing. Like everybody, I was doing my market. I was throwing my party. Everybody's like, I was like, let me go do the, I was like, I gotta go do. I guess I was a sheep. I gotta go do what everybody else telling me to do. Go get a degree. Go get a job, and then go out. Yo, they hit me with this paperwork that said, okay, let's talk about, and nobody ever sat down and talked to me about retirement plans, and it's not even about that. Any elders, they helped me the best of their ability to get me to this level, you know what I mean? That you gotta take responsibility or accountability for your own life. So they was like, I always thought 20 years, you do 20 years and then you retire, right? They was like, well, is you based on the plan, it's gonna be you can't retire till you like 65 or some shit. I don't know, at least 60. I know it was at least, no, it was more than that. It was like 40 years that they wanted me to put in time, and then I was like, man, excuse me. In my head, I was like, 40 years of this shit? Yeah, it was cool. I was traveling around the world on somebody else's dollar, but it don't matter when you're not happy. Like, if I'm not happy with what I'm doing, you could give me whatever. You could throw as much money as you want at me, but I'm not happy. So it was like 40, just like, yo, 40 years of this shit? And then I left that shit, like, no, like, fuck it, I'm gone. I gotta do what I need to do in life, and I know it's something more out there than this shit, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't knocking nobody that's doing that, but man, that ain't for me. That ain't for me, It ain't that important to me for me to be rocking $200 shoes, you know what I'm saying? Spending money at strip clubs, buying bottles with the fucking sparklers on it. When people be spending $300 on bottles of liquor. One, I don't fuck with drinking that shit anyway, but even the people that do, and you do it moderately, you're spending $300 for a $30 bottle of liquor. How are you going to get wealthy? See, the wealthy aren't doing that. You don't see motherfuckers that got money like that doing that. You know what I'm saying? You don't be standing next to them. You next to people that look like they want to be wealthy, but where they fucking us up is all them rappers and ball players. You want to follow and be suit like them. And then the ladies, see, See, ladies got the motivating power, because if ladies say, man, we ain't standing for that shit no more, guys are gonna straighten the fuck up to do whatever they gotta do to get that new term, or I guess it's an old term, but new to me is that yoni, to get that yoni. You know what I mean? They gonna do whatever they gotta do to get that yoni. So if ladies start cutting, be like, man, fuck that shit. Don't spend no money on no bottle. Let's take this money and invest in some shit. If they start demanding shit from these fellas, then the fellas will start responding different. You know what I mean? Because that's all they doing it for. Like, that shit is so wild. Like, that shit's so wild. But anyway, like, they're not, the people that own that shit, they not letting you get ahead. Like, they got billions of dollars. Like, honestly, it's too, if you work 40 hours a week on a salary, if you had a salary, they pimping you for more than 40. But if you had a regular gig, you getting 40 a week, and that's what it is. You in and out, you on your 40. That's 2,080 hours in a month. That's 2,080 hours in a year. If you do that, you multiply that by each 10 years, that's 20,000 hours. Now, you know what I'm saying? Say you want to do, so most you do, like, you're supposed to do 20 years, that's 40,000 hours. Yo, that's they slaved you for 40,000 hours of your life. Now think about what you could do when you invest in your own time and what you could build with 40,000 hours. But you only thinking about, I need the money, man. You don't, but you got to cut back on some of that bullshit. Like, you don't need to have cable with DVR and the highest shit and all the technology and fucking 3 flat screens in your house and 4 computers and everybody got the unlimited cell phone plan. And shit, and then you don't even eat or healthy foods. You do all of that. That's not, see, that's what they fucking with you. Well, they fucking with your mind. So you thinking, yo, you living it up, but you're not happy. You know you're not happy on the inside. You ain't even gotta say nothing to nobody. You know how you feel. You know. So, healthy be wealthy. So that's what I say. That's what sparked it first with that dude with the lottery, then with the thing. And then I was at Trader Joe's. You know, shout out to Trader Joe's. They got a lot of healthy selections for me. But so I'm in the line, right? And this dude, he was a pale-faced dude, but he was real friendly. Like, he seemed like, you know, he asked me some eco-friendly shit. So I said, my total came to, like, what was it? 4308. 4308 was my total for one bag of groceries. Yeah, right. Well, 4308, but I got some good stuff. I got some kale. I got some avocados. I got some mangoes. I got some, and these is organic stuff. I got some strawberries. I got some coconut water. I got some. What else I get? A green pepper, cause I do the little Chipotle thing. Some other shit, but not much more than that. I got some almonds. I got some organic green tea. I've been slagging on the green tea. That shit tastes so good too. Some other things, but anyway, it ain't about that. This I ain't do a shopping one. So, but yo, so he asked me like, yo, you want to do that? And he was a cool dude, you know. So I was like, all right, my change, I gave him $50 in cash. So I was like, yo, just send me back with a 5 spot. You know what I'm saying? And you can keep the little $1.92. Like, my mind is moving faster than the register, because he probably thought, it seemed like he didn't know. He was a little confused, because I was like, before he could calculate it, I was just like, well, I seen it was 4308. So I was like, boom, boom, boom. I said, well, you keep the $1. I was like, yo, you keep that, just give me back a 5. And he was like, huh? I was like, yeah, can you do that? Would they allow you to do that? And his manager, come to find out, happened to be the next person in line behind me. And then he was like, you don't want your change? I was like, nah, man, you can keep it. You know what I'm saying? Just give me my 5 spot. That's all I need. And his manager was like, nah. And then he was like, the kid was like, I guess he was confused. So he was like, nah, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So then the kid was going to give me, because I was going to get $6.92 back and change. If you're keeping up with me, you want to be wealthy, but you can't keep up with these numbers. I hope you're keeping up with me. Yo, if you want to be, especially you want to be wealthy in their society, you definitely need to be able to keep up with numbers. Yo, it's wealthy in their society. Okay. But $6.92. So I was like, yo, he was like, well, I'll just give you $7, so you ain't even, see, that's how I knew. That's why I was going to get a kid a tip. I don't know, I could sense shit like that. Like, he was a good kid. Like, He's like, yo, I give you $7 back. I'm offering him to give him change, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna give you $7 back, so you ain't gotta. He ain't say this, but this is basically what he's saying. Like, so you ain't gotta carry 92 cents in change. So it was gonna be 8 cents. He was gonna spot me 8. I'm looking to give him $1.92. He about to spot me 8 cents, right? So at first he looks to the manager, can I take the tip type shit? And the manager's like, nah, we can't do that. So then he looks again to the manager, well, can I just give him $7? And the manager's like, nah, we can't do that either. He's like, we gotta make sure we settled up at the end of the night. You know, he's an old pale face, look like an old square dudes you would have joked back in the day. But it was funny because I was like, man, I was like, they won't even, like, 8 cents. They can't even spot customers 8 cents. You know how expensive it was? But I could be like, man, fuck Trader Joe's and all of that shit. But that was just that one person. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was a good dude right there. I could sense that shit anyway. Somebody's looking to give him a tip, and then he wants to help the person back out. Like, that's, you know, that was beautiful for me. So, you know, but just really be on your wealthy shit, like healthy to be wealthy. Like, I know you gotta take care of your financial obligations. Don't stress your shit over it. If you ain't got it, you ain't fucking got it. You know, the economy's fucked up. Like, I'm hearing stories where, yo, they're taking people's social security, like people getting fucked up over their money. You know, they hustling people. Like, I heard when I don't know what election it was, but Mitt Romney said he didn't pay taxes or something. And I was like, damn, motherfucker, you make $1 million and you not paying taxes like that. But think about your paycheck. Let's break down your typical paycheck. And this is, I don't know, because you might not know about taxes like I do. So if you just, your tax rate might be like how you have it set up is a little different. Like me, I look to get it as close to zero, where I'm not getting no huge tax returns, because, yo, all you doing is advancing them money, and they giving you your, let me break it down. How much time? I got a little bit of time. Let me break it down. All right, you get your paycheck. Let's just say it's $1,000. It's $1,000. You get your paycheck, $1,000, right? Just keep it square. This is the gross. This is before your taxes. Then they're gonna take out at least 20% of that for, you know, all them different type taxes you got, right? So now you have $800. I didn't know they're gonna take out more than that, but I'm just doing it at the low end. So they took out $800. So excuse me, they took out $200. So now you're down to $800, right? So after you got that, whatever you're going to buy, they're taxing you on that too. So they taxed you 20% at least already. Then if you go buy cars, if you go buy, the gas is already built in the tax. The tax is already built in the gas. If you go buy food, some places have food that you don't get taxed. Like if you're buying food from the grocery store, but if you're buying food from restaurants, you know, it'll be taxed and stuff. Or if you're buying clothes or whatever, retail shit you buy, that they tax you on that too. You house, you get taxed. Your car, you get taxed. In some states not, but some states are. So that's what I'm speaking about. So they taxing you all along the break. All right. So you like, yo, when February time hit and they send out the W-2s, and they after they've been paying taxes for the whole year, what you're doing is you're advancing them money. So they've been taking these taxes out to do whatever they want to do, and then they're giving you money back to make it, and they've been giving you a lump sum. So say they got you thinking like, oh, I'm getting this big lump sum, but one, if you know anything about the value of dollar, it's not the same. Like a dollar today, say it's July now, so the value of a dollar in July 2014 and the value of a dollar in March 2015 is not the same. Though it's on the same piece of paper, the actual value and your purchasing power is not the same. Look at what you can do with a dollar. Like money is different. Like it's different for you to go out there and purchase like movie tickets, for example. So I don't go to movies because that shit is a rip-off. But movie tickets, like, yo, movie tickets when I was younger, it was like $5. They at least doubled in price. You know what I'm saying? So if you're purchasing, but the dollar still looks like the same dollar, so your purchasing power is not the same. And see, so when they're taking from you a little bit by a little bit, and think they're doing this to a lot of people over the country, and they're not giving you any interest on your money. At least if they was going to borrow the shit, because that's what they're doing. They're taking the taxes, then they give it back, because they're not funding shit that you want to fund it for. They're not saying, okay, well, what would you like your taxes to be allocated to? Do you want it to be to this, to this, to this, to this? No, they do what the fuck ever they want to do, right? But they don't pay you interest when they give you your return. They just give you back partial of what you put into it, you know. So That's just something to think about, what, like, in your purchasing power. So when they give you your money back, they took your money for the whole year, and then when they give it back to you later on, you got less purchasing power because shit done went up. Like, think about it. Everything's going up. Gas, the price of gas, the price of milk, the price of food. Not that I drink, like, I drink almond milk, but not that the dairy shit, but I'm just talking for, because I think, yo, the gallon shit for that shit, I think I seen somewhere, yo, it's like a gallon of milk is like the gallon of gas and shit, whatever. So you got all of that. All of the food prices is going up. Entertainment costs is going up. Concert tickets is going up. Sport events is going up. Shoot, cars, cost of living, houses, everything. The prices are going up. But as far as the wages, they're actually going down. Like, they're paying people less because they know the economic state we're in. So, but they're like still making millions of dollars on profit. They're not even like I seen a report with McDonald's, like the head people, like I guess the executive managers, executive managements, how much money they're making, and then the workers is hurting. Like, they could still give like every worker like $1,000 bonus and still be eating good, but fuck that. They don't want it like that. Like, the game is rigged. The game is rigged. Like, it's rigged. And then they got us thinking like, oh no, that's the American dream. Yo, I heard in the movie, again, that was my days. Like, I don't even like saying them shits because I don't support them, but whatever. I watched it. A lot of people seen it, Pursuit of Happiness. I watched the director's cut where the behind the scenes shit, and the director was a foreigner, and he was like, the American dream is not even for Americans. That shit is for foreigners, because Americans don't even treat it like that. That's for foreigners that come over and be like, yo, we can really live here. That's why you see foreigners come over here and set the fuck up shop. But that's again how you know the game is rigged. How, and like especially out in DC, and New York the same, DC, New York, shit, VA Beach, all them places the same. Like, how, I'm not saying foreigners shouldn't be able to do that, but they won't even assist people that are these U.S. citizens to help them set up businesses. Like, you can see nail shops, food shops, Asian food shops, nail shops, weave shops, all of that shit, catering to, especially they catering to the people, people, the melanin rich, people call them black people. They catering to them people, but they won't even let them set shit up like that. Like, they give money for them people to set shit up. They help them set shit up, but they won't even help us set shit up. You know what I mean? But they keep taking our money. So see that the game is rigged, and then so you can play it different. People like, oh, I don't want you to be like, oh, that's information is so depressing. Gee, like, be the fuck strong. You are strong. You are ancestors of survivors. You know what I'm saying? You survived some shit. Like, your bloodline is surviving some shit. You went through some, like, people before you went through some shit, and you got all that strength in you. So don't be depressed and like, oh, the game is rigged and I don't know what to do. No, the fuck. They setting rules up for them. They don't play by those rules. They give them rules to you in place to play by. Like, learn universal laws and play by those rules. I'm going to do one about that later. But don't look at it as depressing. Look like, okay, now I know what the fuck I'm dealing with. So how I can deal with them. So I can deal with it, call it that beast. So I can deal with it. So I can deal with it different. So now I know how the game is played. Now I know the rules. This shit's rigged. Shit's rigged. Like, I seen some shit where it was like, lawyers, they just, they don't even, like, they like, any profession in school, think about it. They don't even think about the number of people they're creating, and there's not enough positions for that. They just say, fuck it. As long as somebody gonna pay, we'll keep it. We'll have as many accountants, as many lawyers, as many doctors, as many fucking ventriloquists, if they teach that in school. Whatever the fuck. They'll have as many as they have. Even if the pool of available jobs is not, you can't even meet that, like engineers, whatever. They'll just say we don't even think about that. We don't even care about if when they get done and they graduated and it's not enough for them. We just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing more and more and more. But there's not enough, and that's what's happening. There's not enough positions for the people that they're putting up in that. Why don't they just say, okay, let's slim back and do a college program or an educational program that doesn't you don't have to go through all of this rigorous shit, all this extra shit you don't need. Just get your joint and get some knowledge up, and then you can get going. Matter of fact, that's what we gonna do. I'm gonna start promoting. We gonna do a university. We gonna do some real shit. We gonna really help the people out. Man, look out for that. Like, we really gonna start promoting that. So cause that's fucked up. Like, they're not even thinking about like they could have 1 million lawyers, but you only needed 50,000 lawyers in the country. But now we got 1 million lawyers. So what the fuck is the rest of these? Not even lawyers, cause I don't even fuck. But you know, any profession. Like, what the fuck is the rest of them gonna do? They don't care. They don't even think about it. But you think they don't know that shit? That shit, they got all these people. They got economists. They got all these fucking, you know what I'm saying? These people that do all this data, this research, but they don't even care to think about none of that for you. So know the game is rigged. Learn how to play it. Don't accept all the rules that they telling you, because they create these rules and they don't live by them. They don't play by them. So watch the game. Be yourself an entrepreneur. Even if you had a job, still have an entrepreneurial mindset. Like, you're building your wealth. Be healthy out there. Take care of yourself. Eat good shit. Eat good food so you can have good shit. So take care of yourself. Take care of your circle. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Do all of that and support yourself. And healthy to be wealthy. All right. Until next time. All of that I just said, put it on repeat. And take care, be mindful, and all of that. I love you. Love yourself. For real though. Alright. Thanks for tuning in to GVTV. Easy though.